Okay, full transparency here on how much my divorce is costing me so far. We are just a year into it, and these are the numbers so far. I first spent $7,000 on a retainer and $4,000 for freezing assets and doing a few other things. Then I received a bill for $18,760.14. Received a bill last week for $4,542.87, with a grand total of $34,303.01. This is without going to court so far. Who knows how much it's going to cost to be finished.
They probably gonna wind up spending, and that's not even including the amount that he's spending on his side for whatever it's costing him in a divorce. I know somebody that recently went through a divorce, and I don't want to divulge too much information, but basically what they got in a divorce was slightly more than whatever it cost them to go through the divorce. Let me say that again. And this is a woman. What they got in the divorce is slightly more than what it probably cost them to go through the divorce. And the divorce was lasting probably close to a year. And that's not including whatever it is that it cost him. And it was just a messy situation. So when I see her to say that it's costing her $34,000 and they're only a year in, and she's saying it's a year in, like, like and we're only, like, how long do you expect for this to last? You know what I'm saying? And it could probably take 2 years, 3 years, and after it's all said and done, now y'all done probably spent well over $100,000 a piece when y'all could have kept y'all sanity, negotiated amongst each other, and came to an amicable split. But this is one of the reasons why men are avoiding marriage at all costs, because it's not that they're afraid of marriage, they're afraid of divorce. They're afraid of getting fleeced by a system. And let's be clear, this is a system. This is a racket. It is in the lawyer's best interest to drag this on. It is in the court's best interest to drag this on. It is the family court's best interest to drag this on. And unless you change family court laws and make it much easier for people to be able to split without giving up their whole lives and everything they work for, you're going to continue to see men divest themselves, educate themselves, and then divest themselves away from marriage. And I talk to people that still look at love and they be like, yo, but I believe in love, until you don't. Because I guarantee you that both of them in this situation, I guarantee you that both of them at some point, both was madly in love, that they told each other they loved them. They had sex. I don't know if they had kids. I didn't deep dive into it too much. But you know what's so interesting? One of the things that I like to do is I like to look at the comments of the video so that I get an idea of whether it's worth looking into, so that when I react to it, I don't want to watch the whole video. I want to react to it in real time. So I probably watch 5 or 10 seconds. And then once I see that 5 or 10 seconds, I say, okay, well, we're going to see what's popping off with this one. But I looked in the comments to help me understand of whether or not it's worthy of having this conversation, right? And in the comments, one of the things that she was saying, because like somebody was like, yo, this divorce is madly expensive or whatever. And she was like, well, but well worth it or something like that. And I'm like, what kind of monster is this? What kind of goon is this? Usually women that have that sentiment, the man is paying for both lawyers. I know you don't think it's possible, but I'm telling you, I've talked to a lot of guys. I've coached a lot of people. And when the man is forced to pay for her legal fees, she spares no expense. He may even try to cut down on costs, which obviously that'll be to his detriment, but he has to make a decision financially, especially if you are halfway decent well off. Royce the 5'9", who I do not agree with politically, but because he is, a Detroit guy and all of this stuff, I don't ever really say anything much about it. But Royce the 5'9" had a line inside of a song, and he said, I've never seen a woman turn a man into a millionaire unless he was a former billionaire. I've never seen a woman turn a man into a millionaire unless he was a former billionaire. And that line, like, because you can't deny his lyricism, right? That line stuck with me. It always have stuck with me. And when I first started really having these conversations online and I came into the scene, and when I was on another show or whatever, I used to say that marriage is just as much of a business. It's a business first before you start looking at the love aspect of it. Doesn't mean that love is not important. Does not mean that you should not love the person. Does not mean that you should not very much care for the person that you're in a relationship with and you want to see them well and you want to see them and you want to do them. But the business aspect of who you are, and this is why guys need to remove the emotion when they vetting for the person that they need to be with. Again, you still need to love the person, but make sure you're looking at it from a business perspective. What is looking at it from a business perspective, Anton? Well, number one is vetting for whether or not she is the type of person that'll take you to the cleaners. Number two, stop dating broke hoes. I know that that's going to be problematic for you, but we're going to have this conversation. Stop dating broke women. Anton, why is that? Because most guys date down, most women date up. And when you date women that don't have any resources, because I know you want to take her out of the McDonald's parking lot because you know she got a fatty and she a bad one and you got money and you don't care about what she make. It's not about caring about what she makes so that you can use her resources. It's about caring about where her status is in life so that it doesn't ruin your life when she tried to take half of your shit. So when you date chicks that is broke, you become a fish. You become more of an opportunity when y'all starting to have that argument and then you decide that you want to go your own way. Why? Because you decided to align yourself with somebody that didn't have anything to lose. And so they see you as a mark. They see you as a mark. You have to be on the same level. That is what equally yoked means. It's not just spiritual. It's not just emotional. It's not just age-wise or any of that type of stuff. It has to be aligned across the board and looking at it from a business perspective. That's why you have to have a woman, not necessarily has to be as successful as you, but she definitely has to have assets. She definitely have to be in a certain space. And this is why it's going to be more difficult for men that, kind of stay down, focus, and become more successful because now you're going to have to find women that are more closely aligned with you. Stop getting with women that have a whole lot of student loan debt. You inherit that, right? The same way that a woman, when she marries you, inherits your child support debt because you now are one, you now share marital assets. What you do affect her and what she does affects you. And so most people are unable to divest themselves from it because they're so immersed in the person that they're in a relationship with. And that is going to impair their judgment so that when they're making a decision, now you spending $34,000 first year into the divorce and you ain't even get to court yet. You ain't even got to court yet. And she seems like she's not even tripping. She couldn't wait to get on there, put all of her bills together, and then show you guys what it is that they've spent all of the bills that she's gotten so far. Is that beneficial to you? And for the women that are watching this, maybe you have more of an idea of why it's so hard for this guy to commit to you. Again, it's not that he don't like you. It's not that he don't want to have a kid with you. It's not that he don't want to make sure that you are taken care of, considering that you guys are on good terms right now. But the more educated that we become, the more that we've heard stories, the more we looked at men of yesteryear and see what they're going through, why would you want to put yourself in that same situation? How does that make sense? Then that's when they just want to make you a forever girlfriend, or you just going to be playing your role over here until you're not no more, and then they can move over to the next person. And it's not that he don't love you, but I love you as you leave and I love you as you came, but at the same time, I'm not willing to give up half of my stuff or pay $34,000 in the first year of a divorce. That's just unreasonable. In my opinion, it's unreasonable. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off of life. I always like to give credit to the content creator. That link will be down in the description. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later.